I recently read some stuff about garlic that said it's probably better to actually boil your garlic in a little water than to saute it. And overall, it has to do with cooking, I guess, is not as good for your food as steaming, people have said. Long story short, and something about if you put it in the water, it's a little better than burning it in the saute pan. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to cook and what you're trying to do with it. Um, the reason I've looked any of this up is I've been taking pieces of garlic and putting them in my pickle juice, but garlic itself is really hot. You can't even eat the piece sometimes. It like feels like it's taking a nerve all the way to your brain and burning it like a little bit of pain, almost like a good onion can do, or some of the hot stuff. I've had it happen to me. So I was having it sautéed lightly. Sometimes it's a little too sautéed, and then I was basically putting it in my pickle juice, making my own little, you can research all that if you want, but I just throw it in there, let it sit so it doesn't go bad. And, sometimes I'll leave it in there for a few weeks. Sometimes I'll wrap it in some bags, leave it in the back of the fridge in the dark before I start eating it, and it seems to do just fine. I'm basically reusing my pickle juice. I've used all of the olive juice again. I've used sweet pickle juice, regular juice, and it seems to work fine. And recently, I looked up and I read that if you boil it, you don't want to go too long. The first stuff we did, it ended up being like 30 minutes. It's mush. You can mix it with your nice potatoes, your mashed potatoes, other vegetables. If you got mush or some kind of food, it mixes excellent. Now it is cooked, not raw. But if you lightly cook it, they say it's better. And actually, it was around the 5 to 7 minute mark. 7 minutes was almost too long. 5 minutes seems to be a little better just from the few times that I have boiled it in the water. And maybe you can use the water for soup or something along with the garlic if you want. I don't know about that much, but some people throw an onion in water and then they make soup, and they throw a piece of garlic in there and they make garlic soup or onion soup. So just things to consider. If you're a soup maker, a baker, cook, you're probably gonna know more about it. If you're not, keep reading up, watching videos from people that know more about it. Learn about it, go to school, whatever you need to know. But I guess the highlights of what I'm saying is, even if it's boiled in water for a few minutes and it just enough to get the heat out. I don't know the actual number yet. I just want to be able to boil it enough to get the heat out. So I'm going to try some boiling for 2 minutes. You get the water hot first and then put it in. That way it's already boiling. So I'm going to try a little experiment, whether it's, 2 and 3 minutes or 5 minutes, which is better, just to get the heat out of the garlic a little bit to where it's actually edible and that you can use for either medicinal purposes or herbal use more so, and go from there. Part two of this I'm doing right this second. What makes me think of that is I've heard from herbologists that garlic is the closest thing you have to antibiotic. There's times that I've had phlegm in the top of my lungs or the bottom of my lungs, so I start eating a garlic clove about 3 times a day, and sometimes 3 times a day when at first, and it helps. It's helped get the phlegm out of there. I heard the same thing about black licorice, and there's times that I've eaten the black licorice from the store, the old heavy stuff that's got the heavy flavor, and it seems like shortly after I ate it, it helped get that little bit of heavy phlegm out of my chest. Now I've heard black licorice is more of a concern for heart issues if you have anything like that. You don't want to eat too much of it, and you might want to read up on it and find a reference source on that. But going forward, getting back to garlic, and it's really helped me save the garlic, because garlic's a little bit of a project if you want to cut it fresh every day. And there's different ways. I've seen some hacks on processing garlic, so you might want to look those up on YouTube. And it's pretty cool how you can get through the garlic quicker. Sometimes I'll even put gloves on to get through the garlic quicker, and they've put it in the shaker and knocked the stuff off. Some of the little shells and stuff like that, I did try. Like if you put it in the boiling, they come off a little easier. If you boil it too much, they're going to come off really easy, but then you're going to have mush, and I don't know how much nutrients is going to be left in it. Now, another thing that I had heard or saw was it said something about lightly cooking the garlic will help activate the enzymes before. So basically, and then when it's cooled, it stops them, so it kind of awakens the enzymes a little or something like that. I don't have the expert answer for you. So it's probably even better from what I've heard to cook it lightly, wake those enzymes up, and then cool it down. And then for me, I've been putting it into pickle juice. And then not only does my pickle juice last a little longer, and Once it starts getting a little grubbier from being used once or twice, then I dump it out. But if it's fresh, I'll take a little sip here and there. And the last time I was going to save the garlic water to see if somebody wanted to make some soup or something with it, but I accidentally tossed it out. But I'm sure you could. Like I said, a lot of people will make soup. They'll just throw an onion or a piece of garlic in there and throw some other vegetables, and boom, you got soup. Um, Maybe some kind of herbs. If you know more about the herbs to put in soup, let me know. We've been trying to go lower sodium because of some issues, and a lot of the salt raising people's blood pressure and this and that. If it's not affecting you, I'm not saying that you need to do it, but once you've been affected by it and you actually have to go on a lower sodium diet, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Um, so let's find some alternatives, whether it's just pepper or some seasoning and herbs. If you know some good ones for making soup, let me know. If you know a better way of handling garlic, let me know in the comments. Message me. It's just something that I'm trying to do where I can get a little bit of garlic in my body a couple times a week. Like I said, when I've not felt good, I'll put it in there 3 times a day. A couple days there, I had 5 little cloves, just little cloves. And you'd be surprised how much that seemed to help. Now, I don't have the expert answer for you, but if I did, I'd let you know. If you know, let me know. Alright, hope you liked the video. Please like us, give us a share, a subscribe, a thumbs up. Pass the information on, pass it back. Let's make the world go around and around and around, and hopefully help each other out. Talk to you again soon. Take care.